Hello and welcome, this is Oldmanpoole. I'm going to be going through, I think, my very last Dominaria draft. That's super depressing. I've loved this format. I'm excited for new cards, as always, like Magic 19 I'm sure will be really sweet as well. But yeah, Dominaria. It's the end of an era. I'll have to make this last one count. Okay, well... For people that have viewed a lot of drafts, you know that Varix is like my best buddy. I see him way too often for like what the probability should be in the format. I think I played with Varix. I'm going to be first picking it, I imagine, out of this pack. And this is like the 4th or 5th time I've had the chance to play with it in draft. Super sweet card. I don't think it's as absurd of a bomb as some of the cards in the format, but really solid first pick. Very happy to see it. It's great on turn 4 and even better later on in the game as well. There are other good cards in this pack. I like Blink of an Eye a fair amount. Academy Drake is very solid. Gitu Chronicler I don't think is first pickable, but up there. But yeah, we're just going to take Varix. So, I always forget he makes a fantastic noise too. I mean, listen to that growl. As always, I'd like to thank everyone that's subscribed to the channel. You guys do me a real great service every time you subscribe. It helps other people find me on YouTube, and really just, it means an awful lot to me. So thanks so much. Thanks to everyone that likes the videos time in, time out, everyone that comments. You guys are the best. It's been a real pleasure for me to see the community grow over time, and I can't thank you enough. I also have a little bit of extra news. This next week's schedule is going to be a little bit different than usual because the Magic Core Set 19 is coming out, which is super sweet. I believe it's being released for sealed this Friday, so I'll probably try and post a video late that day of a sealed event, and maybe again Saturday as well, but it won't be Saturday morning like it usually is. It'll probably be Friday night, and then maybe Saturday night if I can swing that as well. And then drafts come out Monday, so I'll definitely put out 1 or 2 drafts on that Monday, Tuesday, sometime around then. I also promised you guys a surprise in my last video. It's not super exciting, but it's a big deal for me, so here it is. I've been invited to play in the Early Access Streamer event for the Magic Arena 19, release event, and that's going to be on Twitch. I haven't streamed a lot recently. I did kind of when the channel was first getting started, but I've really devoted myself to YouTube for the past year or so. But if you guys could all stop by, you can actually interact with me in real time. Twitch is a really great platform to do this sort of a thing, and I don't have a huge following there, so anyone that can make it out, I definitely would love to see you guys there. It's from 2 to 6 Pacific time on July 11th, and I'm pretty sure I'll be able to post the stream on YouTube afterwards. You can't make it then live. I actually haven't heard back from Wizards at the time of this recording for sure on that, but I think I will be able to. So, if you can't make it there, and not a huge deal, probably still be able to see that sweet content. Okay, that was a lot of talking. We're 3 minutes in already. Let's get back to drafting. I know that's why you guys are really here. This pack's pretty good. There's a couple of good choices. There's Danatha Capation, which is a different color than Varix, but very solid. The red-white deck frequently does care about like equipment, and Danatha is very good in that. Fire Fist Adept is on color and quite good if we end up in the Wizards deck, and kind of unexciting outside of it. And then Academy Drake I think is the only other card that's really in contention, but it's... well, and Sapling Migration is quite good as well. But I think those are both worse than our other options. I think I'm probably leaning towards Danatha here. Fire Fist Adept, while it is on color, does really require you to be in the Wizards deck, and it's a great payoff. They're really one of your best cards. It's just Flame Tongue Kabu a lot of the time, or Ravenous Chupacabra, but it's also, I guess, really does require a specific archetype in the same way that Danatha requires a different color. So I think we're kind of committing to something either way here, and I think Danatha is a little bit more powerful. Also very nice at stalling up the board if we're working our way up towards the Varix. Alright, this pack's got Howler the Firefletcher, which is a different direction than Danatha, but quite solid. Also have a Gitu Chronicler and Baloth Gorger. So we could take Chronicler and just stay on color, and maybe end up in some sort of a red-white deck, or we could take Hauler and just kind of stay open here. I think Hauler is better, although the Chronicler is pretty solid. I guess let's keep our options open a little bit still. There's a Blink of an Eye. If we'd gone towards Wizards, maybe we'd try for that. But Hauler has been very impressive to me, and it's a kicker card that works well with Varix, so... okay. And a third pick, or I guess a fourth pick, Sapling Migration, is a little bit of a signal here, although there's another Blink of an Eye. It's also Fiery Intervention. We're quite confident we're going to be playing red, so maybe I should just pick that up. I really would like to make Varix work. And while this is not like the best removal spell in the format, you're happy to have it. This is something that I think you want in just about every deck, and I think I have been undervaluing it, even up here towards the end of the format. So let's take a Fire Intervention. Another Fire Intervention and a Grow from the Ashes. There's also like Skin Witch and Memorial Genius, some good other cards. I think I'm tempted towards Grow from the Ashes. It's another kicker card for Halar. It really does enable some great splashes, and this is a format that if you can splash is quite good. We have one Fire Intervention already, and the second one does get a little bit worse, although that's not a bad one either. Let's take Grow, though, and maybe try and shift into like a green-red deck. Rampaging Cyclops isn't great, but I think it is probably the pick out of this pack. This pack's actually not super absurd in general. There's a Windgrace Acolyte, which is fine. I think better than the Rampaging Cyclops, but I think we're less likely to be in black. The Howling Goblin's fine. Legend Tapestry is kind of sweet. And it turns Healing Grace into like Ancestral Recall. Can turn the Navigator's Compass into a real card. But it's pretty hard to really make work, and we're a ways away from black. So let's take the Cyclops. Okay, so Champion of the Flame's a little bit interesting this late. Is quite good with Danitha, or I guess in the same deck as Danitha. Although because we have Halar and the Grow from the Ashes and a start to a good kicker deck, I think I'm just going to lean towards Skitu Chronicler here. Gift of Growth is also fine. Broken Bond's a nice sideboard option, but I think Chronicler's best. Sorry, Champion of Flame. I've actually never played this card in the format, and really probably should have at some point, but I've never found a real good excuse. We've got Llanowar Envoy or Howling Golem. Again, Howling Golem's fine. It's a good historic card for decks that want historic cards. It's like playable, and a lot of the cards on their own are not real exciting. I think we're going to take Llanowar Envoy, though. If we are going to up in a heavy splash color, the activate ability is not irrelevant, and a 3/2 body for 3 is not exceptional, but not bad in this format. Probably going to take Krosan Druid over another Rampaging Cyclops. It's a little bit earlier on in the curve, and I think maybe just even a little bit better. Again, has some slight value with Halar. I feel like red-green is looking fairly open here. Nothing great here. I guess I'll take Llanowar Scout as a sideboard card. I don't like playing this main deck, but sometimes you just need a 1/3 too. Okay, and Broken Bond or Radiant Lightning. I think we want a Radiant Lightning more than Broken Bond, although those are both fairly important. In the matchups where Radiant Lightning is good, though, it is absurdly good. In the matchups where Broken Bond is good, it's good, but frequently still just, like, kind of passable. Once in a while you hit your opponent's, like, bomb, artifact or the like, but take a Radiant Lightning. Again, not going to play that main deck, but happy to have it as an option out of the board. And some other cards that don't really matter. Ooh, okay. Grand Warlord Rada is pretty good, probably just going to be the pick here. Can definitely help us get up to kicking some powerful stuff, is pretty good in its own right. Valduk is interesting. If we'd gone a little bit more in the artifact direction, we maybe try for that. Maybe, like, hope to pick up a Jousting Lance or two a little bit later in the draft. But since we are looking like we're pretty firmly green-red, Rada is a pretty nice pickup. Also feel like I played this card a little bit more than the format would warrant, I guess. I've seen it a lot. This pack has almost nothing for us. Man, this is like a pretty much straight band. No, what color combination is this? Esper, that's right. Lots of blue, black, and white. Guess we take Vicious Offering. It's probably the best card in the pack. It's a world where we end up splashing it, although probably not a real likely one. Are about to be a double splash, which is not impossible to Grow from the Ashes, but probably a little too much. Guess let's just take Vicious Offering. Isolated Chapel. Ooh, yeah, man. We're not really getting hooked up in this pack too so far. I do feel like we cut red-green fairly well. We could take Blood Tallow Candle, I guess, as another removal spell if we don't end up quite getting there. Krosan Druid and Llanowar Envoy are both kind of replaceable, and we already have one of each. Take Isolated Chapel, because it helps with Vicious Offering, but we need to be going for white, too. Even that's like a tap land. Yeah, I guess we're just going to take the Candle. It feels kind of bad, but that's all I can really see there. Okay, this pack is better for us. We have a Grun the Lonely King, another Grow from the Ashes, and Baloth Gorger. Second Grow from the Ashes really does mean we can be kind of crazy with our mana base, and that sounds pretty fun. Run is very solid, but is kind of replaceable. So is Baloth Gorger. Just there's a lot of big stuff in the format, and the fact that Grunt is the biggest of the big stuff is not that huge of a deal. I think we're going to take Grow from the Ashes still. I think that was actually a little bit close, though. Some good white. We want to start thinking about the crazy splashes we can pull off with Grow from the Ashes here. We could take something like Cold Water Snapper or Sanctum Spirit, or just take something kind of unexciting like Fire Elemental. We had Danitha. Could maybe play Sanctum Spirit. Is that just crazy? It might just be crazy. I don't think we're going to play either of these cards realistically, though. So let's take Sanctum Spirit. Gift of Growth probably here over not much. Okay, there's a Sisay, which is probably fine. Not in a like absurdly good splash card, but I think okay. Better than Krosan Druid, especially if we're already veering towards white, maybe just a little bit. Let's take a Shana. We get a couple of like good Saprolings or something, it can really pay off. Venturous Impulse here is a good pickup. Gilded Warcolor's fine, but kind of whatever. And not much here, although again, if we're maybe veering or dipping our toes into white, Invoke the Divine's a nice sideboard card. And not much else. Not much else. And nothing we want here. I guess I'll take the Uncommon Land. Flame of Killed I really don't think is what we're doing, but again, I don't really think any of these are making our deck, so at least we're hoping none of these make our deck. Ooh, well there's Ariel. We're just gonna do it, right? Well, I don't know. We definitely can splash for it. We have the Grow from the Ashes. Even if we don't have a Skittering Surveyor, we can afford to be pretty greedy with our mana base, I think. Ariel is definitely better than Hallar, or Thorn Elemental, or Llanowar Elves, or Mammoth Spider. But we could just say, hey, we're gonna play it cool, we're not gonna be too crazy with our mana base, and just pick up one of the great cards for our deck otherwise. Like Mammoth Spider's quite good. Oh yeah, there's a lot of good stuff out of this. Maybe we should just take the slightly less greedy play. Or are we just really gonna play like 5-color? I guess 5-color would be kind of a sweet way to end off the format. I'm gonna take Ariel. This is just crazy, right? But we're just gonna take Ariel. We've got the mana base for it. We spent all match trip setting up the mana base for it. There's Tatyova. Also a Raid of Belzenlock, although double black does make it harder. Also Cast Down, which is solid. I think I'm just gonna take Tatyova. Alright, 5 colors, guys. We got there. Llanowar Elves or Knight of Grace or what? Cabal Skin Witch again requires double black to really be exciting. Memorial of Folly also requires double black. Well, I guess kind of, or needs another black source in addition. I think it's between Llanowar Elves and the Knight of Grace here. How aggressively do we want to splash for white? We definitely want to play Ariel. We definitely want to play Tatyova. Are we going to play things like Danitha and Shana? Maybe? How far are we into red, honestly? Like, we like Grand Warlord, we like Fire Intervention, we like Varix. Cyclops is kind of whatever. Color's fine, but not absurd. We could be, like, green-white more base. I think Llanowar Elves is probably just going to be the pick anyway, though. It's in our main color, which is pretty good for green, and can help us, like, ramp into a Grow from the Ashes, that sort of thing. Yeah. I think it's actually close, because I think that the Knight is actually probably a little bit better than Llanowar Elves, but just having the card that we know we're going to play in the deck is probably pretty good. Pierce the Sky is a nice sideboard card. There was a Fire Intervention a couple of packs ago, which we could have considered as well. Don't like Champion of the Flame much. Probably take Gitu Chronicler here. We definitely have the ramp stuff going on. And maybe we'll commit to a green... green-red mostly, but then splashing super aggressively for a bunch of stuff. Ancient Animus, I think we probably want to take at this point just as another like piece of removal, even if we don't have a fantastic deck for it. We don't have a whole lot of huge stuff. We're light on removal, so take Ancient Animus, which is just whatever. Another Gitu Chronicler, we're just like the deck of Chroniclers. I mean, that's pretty good. I don't think I'm unhappy playing 4 of these, honestly. They're just so valuable early in the game, and then not bad late as well. Okay, and Primordial Worm coming around is actually pretty nice, too. That will end up making our deck as just another potential finisher. Okay, this deck is pretty sweet. Full disclosure, this is actually the first time we'll be playing with Tatyova, which feels really, really good. I've wanted to make Tatyova work since the beginning of the format, and feels like it's just never quite been the right place for it. So my deck is recommending 7 forests, 5 mountains. Do we need 2 swamps? I don't think so. Just 1 island for sure. Let's actually pull it out here. I think it'll be easier. So I think we're gonna maybe actually cut white. I think Tatyova is more powerful. And maybe Vicious Offering is just something we want. Shauna is probably not fantastic. Oh, we actually do have a good number of creatures. I feel like all 3 of these white cards, despite being powerful, are not absurd. Not as good as like Ariel, for instance, or Tatyova. And Vicious Offering, I think, is more powerful than the other ones, so we'll splash fairly aggressively for those, but otherwise stay pretty close to just the realm of sanity as far as green and red go. And these Grow from the Ashes are going to need to do some good work, but we have 2 of them, so I think we can probably get there. And it's 5 color. How sweet is that? 5 color. So this is 40 as it is right now. Are there any cards I don't like out of this? We have G2 Chronicler with actually maybe not tons and tons of instants and sorceries because we have 15. Get back Fiery Intervention, Vicious Offering, Grow from the Ashes, Venturous Impulse. I mean, even if we're just sniping and Venturous Impulse is back, it's not bad. Gift of Growth is kind of okay. Llanowar Scout's also just kind of okay. Maybe we should end up playing a little bit more, or we could play like a Pierce the Sky. This is good against a lot of decks. Maybe we'd rather have that. Yeah, I'm not sure how aggressively we want to try and play our white. Like, these are all good cards for sure, but I kind of like having our splash cards a little bit higher up on the curve, and I think that they are a little bit weaker as well. I'll probably take out the Scout. With 4 Chroniclers, I don't think we really need it, so we'll play Gift of Growth instead of the Scout. Yeah, I think this looks solid. We definitely have some power kind of smattered around. Can hopefully buy back our couple of removal spells a bunch with the Chroniclers. Definitely going to hit like a pretty high mana top end pretty quickly. And like I said, 5 colors. That feels cool. I like 5 colors. We may sideboard into white a little bit heavier if we find out we really need like Invoke the Divine or something similar. But yeah, I think we're going to call this the deck for now. I'll see you guys for match 1. Alright, we are back for match 1 with our crazy multicolor shenanigans. Do we want to keep this? We only have 8 green sources. Perhaps we should have played 1 more in our main deck. How important it is to have access to like Llanowar Elves, Adventurous Impulse, and Grow. I think this hand is okay with us being on the draw, though, although I'll probably fix my mana base, actually, when I think about it just a little bit more here. The auto mana base always lures me into a false sense of security. But I think with Chronicler and on the draw, this is okay. Not exceptional, but okay. Okay, opponent starting off with a Plains. Okay, and we hit a Forest. Nice. And we will probably play the Chronicler next turn, especially if they drop something that can apply some pressure. Okay, Corrosive Ooze, yeah, that sounds like a Chronicle card, or Chronicle time for us. I'm actually going to play our splash colors fairly aggressively, just to make sure that we don't have, like, random discard, although it's not real likely in these colors. It's also, like, land destruction's not incredibly likely either, so let's just get the Chronicler down. We have Barracks Bladewing eventually now. That was a good top-end draw, so if we can just kind of stall out in the early game, hopefully Barracks can get it done when it comes late. Alright, opponent has no real reason not to attack. I also have not a whole lot of reason not to block. The fact they didn't attack means it's likely they don't have a combat trick, or at the very least are unwilling to utilize it there. Okay, Pegasus Courser's good. Flyers in general are always my bane in these formats. We could swing. It's a little bit interesting. I would use Gift of Growth if they double blocked, and we're not being able to block anyway at this point. This is a little bit of a tempting double block, but I'd love to kill off the Courser. And if they don't block, which they didn't, it's just a free point of damage too. So yeah, let's play our Croson Druid on the ground. So we may have to just play Barracks Bladewing as a regular old 4/4 here, which is less exciting, especially because it can just eat removal. We have a good number of sources that can go and find us white, and then Ariel can take over as well, though. Like, we don't have to rely on Barracks as our only bomb. Opponent going ahead and swings both. Sounds Absolutely fair to me. Courser. What a good card. This is a card I feel like I have not played nearly enough of in this format as well, but it's sweet. Hopefully I don't have something like a Baloth that'll really make us embarrassed. Okay. Baird. So Baird, on the other hand, is something I don't really want to, like, I guess we can swing, but we'd have to pay mana for it, and I really want to get Varix down, I think. Let's go ahead and play Varix. And again, if my opponent's got an answer, it's unfortunate for us, but not the end of the world. And if they don't have an answer, they didn't have a combat trick earlier, then this just manages to stonewall the Pegasus Courser, which is nice. Blessed Light's definitely an option here. Outside of that, though, there's not too much that really gets us. Both my opponent and I have had pretty aggressive draws here. We went 2-drop into 3-drop into 4-drop into 4-drop, I guess. And we went 2 into 3 into 4. So Shalai is unfortunate because this means that as soon as next turn my opponent can start growing everything. We don't have a real great answer to that. It's tough for us to race, too. I think that we still just want to hold it back. Maybe we'll try and, like, Gift of Growth if my opponent gets a little bit too spicy on their attacks. But yeah, +1/+1 counter on everything every turn is going to be tough for us to deal with. We do have a handful of good outs here. We can find Blood Tallow Candle, we can find Fire Intervention. Vicious Offering would also do it here, at least for a little bit longer. Mace Unicorn. So my opponent either did not have their 6th land or decided that the Unicorn was better to get into play early. I'm going to bet no 6th land. Although I guess it's less risky to just play the Unicorn first. Frozen Druid. Okay. Yeah, it looks like my opponent's just playing out all their cards with the intention of... Okay, Grow from the Ashes is good. I would say with the intention of eventually just making everything huge with Shalai. Yeah, I mean, this will fix the last of our mana, which is pretty nice. We can still hold up Gift of Growth if we play our cards right here, so we're going to want to do that. I guess let's tap everything correctly then. We cannot play Ariel, right? We currently have 6 mana. This is going to cost us 3, so can't play Ariel. We'll play those down, and then go and find white and blue. Okay. Want to be careful with how we tap our mana there, because Arena doesn't always have our best interest at heart. Yeah, no attacks. Really do need to find removal for Shalai pretty much immediately. Because even if we can answer Shalai if they like swing in, their board's just going to be really massive. Okay. It's possible they don't have a land drop. Definitely not impossible. Okay. Another land's not fantastic. We are just going to play Ariel here, though, and not be too unhappy about that. Using up 1 red. Okay, I like that color combination. And we're just going to pass here. Okay. So none of these are knights, I presume, yeah. Another Pegasus Courser. Still a problem. Doesn't look like my opponent's found the land, though. Okay. Adventurous Impulse is not real likely to find what we need. Yova's pretty good. Okay, let's get her into play. Don't want to utilize black here. Can use white. Or wait, how much mana do we have? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we actually want to keep up white for Ariel. We only need 1 red source, potentially, I guess. And only 1 green source. Pierce the Sky is also an out. Get blue. And so I guess we want to leave up white for sure. And then, I guess we can tap our last green. We're going to play a forest. Okay. Play Tatyova. Draw a card. Find removal? Almost. Okay. We could play Grand Warlord Rada, but doesn't seem fantastic. I think I'd actually just rather make a knight. And then we can start killing, like, Pegasus Coursers, potentially, at least. Alright. Yeah, let's just pass here. Let's just keep Gift of Growth up, too. The problem is they just, yeah, if they ever find a land, things get really bad really fast. So we can maybe beat one turn's activation if we find removal, like, immediately. And we have a considerable amount of outs. We've got, like, 5 hits or something like that. And we can still Gift of Growth to maybe get something here as well. Opponent's still playing it cool. Okay, we found a Vicious Offering. Is there any reason we'd want to do that right now? So that was a great draw for sure. Oh man, we didn't activate Ariel. Oh, after all that consideration. Yeah, that was pretty bad. We want to use Vicious Offering. Is there any reason to not do it right now? Wait till the end of turn, we can do it in response. I guess that plays around them maybe having a trick. Play the Grand Warlord. Don't want to use black. Don't do that to me. Play the Warlord. Plan on passing here, I guess. Okay, I think we've got a shot here. My opponent's gonna have some pretty big stuff, but we do at least have a way to kill off Shalai. Yeah, if we had one Knight, we could kill like a Pegasus Course in response. That was a pretty costly mistake, but I guess we need black anyway. I guess we couldn't have done that. But having the answer to Shalai is a big game. Just end our turn here. Imagine my opponent's gonna activate Shalai. Okay, so we can use this in response, and use up one of our green sources and our black source, and we are going to sack the Gitu Chronicler, shooting Shalai out of the sky. Rest in peace, Chronicler. Okay. So my opponent's got some big stuff over there, but we have a lot of card advantage at our disposal too. Like, a lot of times I'd say this game is just over, but I don't actually think it's quite just over. Having another Knight in play would be really nice, but nothing to blame but ourselves for that. Run the Lonely King. Alright, let's probably be eating our Ariel activations each and every turn. I don't want to swing in. Does not look like it. Okay, let's activate Ariel for real this time, and create a Knight. Yeah, if we had 2 here, we could start sniping Pegasus Coursers. Oh, man. It would all be so much better. Okay, so Llanowar Elves is a not great draw, but it's okay. We don't have anything we can really do out of the graveyard or any shenanigans, right? No great attacks. Yeah, just end the turn here. Plan on activating Ariel, dropping another Knight into play, and then trying to kill the Coursers. My opponent can get run in the air with Pegasus Courser, but then it's not attacking alone, which means then Gift of Growth potentially gets them, which is kind of nice. We can also just kill off Pegasus Coursers there. Wow, Kamal's Druidic Vow. Look at the top X cards of your library, put any number of land and or legendary permanent cards, mana cost X or less. Okay, that's I think a first for me. I haven't seen anyone play the Druidic Vow here. Let's see if my opponent hits. 4 is not real high as far as legendaries go. But they're very likely to hit at least a couple of lands. Yeah, okay. Ramp spell for 3 is not like nuts or anything, but not terrible either. Run, I would not be surprised to see just coming in alone here. We'll just toss the Llanowar Elves in front, I imagine. Yeah. Okay. And let's go 2 blocks. Rest in peace, Llanowar Elves. Barely knew you. And we're going to activate Ariel, make another Knight. And my turn. Okay, Chronicler's pretty good. We can get back Vicious Offering. Kill off Grun, probably. So, although if we do that, we can't activate Ariel for a turn. So I guess we want to keep up white. How much mana do we actually have? We have 7, 8, 9, 10. That requires 6. That requires 3. That is not quite enough on its own. We could still just get rid of Grun, which is maybe pretty darn good. Like Chronicler. Pick it. We still have Gift of Growth, which is kind of nice. Return Vicious Offering. Cast the Vicious Offering. Probably pitching the Chronicler again. Yeah. Sacrifice a creature, give Grun -5/-5, sacrifice the Chronicler. Yeah, this deck is definitely sweet. not say anything negative about it. Alright, and yeah, still ending the turn. I think we're slowly dragging our way back in, though. We've got, like I said, a pretty good value engine online. We have another 2 Chroniclers that we can find that will rebuy Vicious Offering if we need to. And Ariel's getting to the point where she's big enough that she can start eating stuff, too. Okay, Krosan Druid kicked. Buys my opponent a bunch of life, but this isn't really a game where life is the, like, significant factor, so... Really wish we did have one more night. I probably said it like 40 times. You guys will have to forgive me. So, it's funny that they always want to use up my black. Do not understand that. Okay, we'll play that, and start activating Ariel to kill off coursers, I think, turn after turn now. Guess we maybe should have done that on our turn. I don't know if it actually matters too much taking the blockers out of the factor. On the other hand, if my opponent's getting in the air with the courser, I'm not sure that matters too much either. How do we lose? Song of Freyalise would be bad. There are ways we lose. They could have just a big, like, flying bomb. An answer to Barracks is obviously bad, but we're working as quickly as we can to remove the flyers on my opponent's turn. Okay. Let's select 2 as our value, blow up one of the coursers, and pass back to me. Okay, land. Tatiova, do your duty. Okay. Still nothing we can really do with our time here. Eventually we'll start swinging with Barracks, but I still think we're not happy trading away life. Although I guess we could swing with Barracks, kill off the courser before it swung back. Nah, let's still sandbag for another turn here. We kill the courser, then next turn we can start getting in. So I could swing with both the courser and like the Llanowar Envoy. I guess that's a little bit of a downside. I don't really want to use my Grift of Growth up to kill off the Llanowar Envoy, although maybe we would. So maybe I should have used that on our main phase. The problem is I don't want to tap down all of our blockers because it gives my opponent the opportunity to make a pretty big attack. And I think that's my opponent's right play, is to try and send the courser into the air with the Envoy. Okay, opponent did not do anything. Let's go ahead and shoot the other courser. Ariel doing some great work here for sure. Okay. Play our Forest, draw a card, Hallar. So we'll play Hallar first. The value. Why do you always want to tap my my Swamp? That Swamp is just like super eager to get in there every time. Play Hallar. Cast Grow from the Ashes. Using up that, and that, and that, and that, and that. Play with Kicker. And I guess grab a Mountain and a Forest, one of the few remaining in the deck. Okay, we did get hit a Chronicler, so we can rebuy Vicious Offering now. Although I want to keep up black, I think, so actually we're going to sandbag that still. So we can swing with Barracks, we have to pay 1, we have 6 mana. So we swing in, we have 5 mana remaining, we play Cyclops, we use Ariel to kill, like, Krosan Druid? No, I think we'd rather make another Knight. So we make another Knight, we swing in with Barracks, or, yeah, make another Knight that costs 3, swing in with Barracks, we still have Chronicler up. Okay, so let's go to attacks, swing with Barracks, and pay 1. Oh yeah, it's true, I forget we actually get to add some mana. That was a slight misplay. I don't think it's going to matter, though, here. Make a Knight, still have Gift of Growth up. Well, hopefully this has been a fun game, at least. It's been pretty long so far, but you've really got us, like, it's been fun to be on the side that's really taking over the board at this point. We only have 9 cards left in the deck. That is, like, that will become a problem at some point. But Barracks will kill in 6 turns at this point. Okay, so let's make another Knight. Go to my turn. A Blood Tallow Candle's a pretty good one. We have access to 14 mana, so playing Chronicler, Candle. We want to use Ariel now. Do we need to? Let's see, 14, so 13 off Barracks, 7, 5, play that. Although we want to use Ariel. So that costs 2, so 12. 6 down to 6, 2, and then Rampaging Cyclops, I guess. While keeping up the Vicious Offering and Gift of Growth at that point. So we can afford to play for a swing with Varix. And still keep up our blockers. Oh, that's true, and Rada adds. I always forget. So we can actually play the Blood Tallow Candle then too, I believe. Hit my opponent down to 20. Gains Reproach. So we could get in for some even extra damage. Let's see. I think that's okay, right? So we go like 2, 3, 4. I guess that's one more than we needed. There we go. Like Gift of Growth, kicked. On Varix. Get to hit in for an extra couple points, and just eat my opponent's Gain Reproach here, which is nice. Oh yeah, this deck is sweet. I am in love already. Okay, we still want to use the Chronicler. Let's kick that. Grab back Vicious Offering, just so we'll have it in case a threat comes along. And then we play the Blood Tallow Candle. And say go. Have Vicious Offering up and the ability to utilize Ariel to kill off probably Baird at this point. How close are we to lethal? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 7. Swing next turn. My opponent's at 7. We're gonna use Ariel first. I guess for sure we can't use the Vicious Offering then at this point either. Let's pay 3, and I guess get rid of Mace Unicorn. I'm not going to Alpha Strike next turn. I actually don't know for sure on the math. I'm not sure we have the time. Ooh, Ancient Animus, actually. Does that change anything? So we can Vicious Offering, kill that, get rid of that. Get Ancient Animus, kill another thing. My opponent's got 4 blockers at that point. We swing with everything. With Varix and the like. That should be plenty. We can use Blood Tallow Candle as well. We can actually swing and then tap stuff while they're attacking, too. It's kind of interesting. So let's use Ancient Animus first so that we can interrupt it if we need to with, like, Vicious Offering. To play that with Varix, targeting Baird. That dies. We play... Or I guess we can't use Vicious Offering and Ariel. I've done that so many times. We play Vicious Offering. I guess let's just use Ariel. We don't need to. So I guess we want to use Blood Tallow Candle then. This costs 6, right? You guys have to forgive me. I'm probably playing pretty slow, but I just don't want to make a huge mistake either. Okay. Go to combat. We attack with everything. Make a ton of mana. Use Ariel. And pay 3. Blow up Corrosive Ooze. And that should be more than enough, I imagine. Okay. Yeah, that was a pretty cool match. I enjoyed that. It was actually fairly close for a little while. My parent had me pretty scared with all the Pegasus Coursers coming in, but I think we managed to get there in the end. They have like some sort of random fog, I guess they'd survive. We're hitting for a lot, though. Yeah. All right. Well, cool. So that was a 30-minute match. That was pretty long. Probably didn't play it perfectly, as is often the case with really long matches. Okay, so we definitely do want Pierce the Sky. Maybe Arbor Armaments. I think Pegasus Coursers are one of the main ways that we're going to fall behind and lose. Radiant Lightning didn't seem real great. Invoke the Divine we didn't see any targets for. Want all of our removal for sure. Like Grow from the Ashes, like all these guys. Gift of Growth was fine, but not absurd. Maybe we cut Candle for the Arbor Armaments, since odds are we're going to be wanting to hit a flyer anyway. Opponent didn't show us anything that we can't already answer with our other removal. And the other things are things we can hit with Gitu Chronicler. On the other hand, this deck is maybe just a little bit removal light in general. Yeah, I think we're gonna cut like that. Oh, and we're gonna add in one more forest for sure. Okay, let's call that. That was cool. That was a fun long game. Opponent's deck seems pretty reasonable. Not quite as like crazy sweet as ours, of course, but not bad. Oof. Keep this. I think we might actually. With 2 Chroniclers, we can block fairly well. We have removal if we find black or like green, then grow from the ashes. If we find a green source, all of a sudden we're ramping fairly quickly. I think this hand's got a lot of potential, despite looking kind of clunky here. Like, I think there are just a lot of cards that we could draw that would make it good. So I'm going to keep it. There are cards that would make this bad, but we can afford to miss even, I think, a couple of times and still block with Chroniclers, and that's not the end of the world, so. Okay, another Mountain's not particularly exciting, but not terrible either. Play a regular old Chronicler in defense mode. Marching right up the curve. Ooh, Skittering Surveyor. This deck would definitely like a Skittering Surveyor, but alas. Okay, just grabbing a forest here. Looks like my opponent's not doing anything like too crazy cool with them. Kind of feels bad to just toss Chroniclers away, but I think we need to add to the board. Again, if the game goes long, even if we're not getting value off Chronicler, I still think this deck just has enough oomph to get there. We do want to find a forest pretty badly, though. Find a forest next turn, and then another land the turn after, we can actually go for a Primordial Worm, which is pretty good. Any land would let us play the Rampaging Cyclops, which could start getting in there as well. In fact, actually, if we drew a forest, we'd probably still just play the Cyclops here. Frozen Druid. Ooh, Grow from the Ashes, how it taunts us. Are we going to sandbag the last Frozen Druid? Opponent can swing in now, but they don't necessarily need to. Yeah, let's pass back, I think. We'll sandbag 1 Druid. The 2 in play should help things going too badly. If they want to swing in and like get past with a combat trick or whatever, it's not too bad. Really, really do want to find a green source here. Okay, Frozen Druid, another one. And we kept like a forest free hand in a deck that forests or a green is kind of our main color, so can't complain too much. Okay, we hit there though, which is nice. Do we just play Rampaging Cyclops, or do we play Llanowar Elves with the intention of playing Grow from the Ashes next turn? I think we're probably still just going to play the mana efficient thing. If we find a land, we can still Grow from the Ashes next turn. It's pretty good. And Rampaging Cyclops is a pretty like stellar blocker here too, so I think that the Cyclops is okay. I would not fault you if you thought that the Llanowar Elves was the better line there. Making sure we can kick Grow from the Ashes next turn would be definitely not bad. You know, the more I think about it, the more I actually kind of like playing Llanowar Elves, especially with this Frozen Druid incoming now. Do we just take 4? Interesting. Well, we'll block that for sure. So that probably means Gift of Growth or Reproach. Reproach is probably pretty likely. We run into Gift of Growth. If we double block, that's actually pretty good for us. And actually, if they have Reproach, it doesn't end up mattering too much. Is there anything else? They've got the +2/+2. That's still not bad. Yeah, I think I like the double block here. We're going to take 4 off the Frozen Druid. Yeah, I really want to find a land so that we can kick the Gift of Grow from the Ashes. So this is nice because it might put my opponent in the position where they have to 2-for-1 themselves or just lose the Frozen Druid. Yeah, see, like, that actually works out quite well for us, I think. Okay, come on, land. No land. Alright, so we are going to play Llanowar Elves. I guess we could play Grow from the Ashes and not find blue. That's an option. We could just use this to go and find black and Vicious Offering the Frozen Druid right now and keep our land total higher. Maybe that's better. Maybe we don't actually need to get the maximum value out of this. We just need to play a little bit more carefully along the way. My opponent's down to 2 cards in hand. We're likely to have like Primordial Worm or even... I guess we need another green source. No, but Llanowar Elves will do it. That's right. Okay, yeah, I think I'm going to Vicious Offering here. So we're losing a little bit of value on the Grow from the Ashes, but we managed to save ourselves quite a bit of life, too. So we're gonna sacrifice Chronicler. Okay. So a little bit of a clunky draw, but I think that it's actually working out okay here. Opponent has more lands than we do, and could potentially still just play like a Primordial Worm or something pretty big that would cause problems. Or the what's his face? Grun? Is it Grun? The giant Donkey Kong guy. I can't remember. Okay. Forest is a pretty good draw there, because we really wanted to play the Primordial Worm on time, and we have the opportunity here. So over the next couple of turns, we can start swinging with that. Chronicler can go and get back a Vicious Offering, too, if we need it, which is nice. Glad I sandbagged that one. Oh, and we even found our island. So our lands just look good. We're gonna go ahead and swing with the worm and pay for it, and I guess we're just gonna play Llanowar Elves and Krosan Druid and wait on the Chronicler. You can make an argument that you should play the Chronicler there just so we have the Vicious Offering if we need it. Yeah, actually that probably would have been better. Yeah, that was probably bad. We also could have sandbagged the Krosan Druid. Yeah, that was a mess of a turn. We could have done that a lot better. The 10 life may have been very relevant. Playing Chronicler earlier may have been very relevant. I'm not sure it's going to end up mattering here, but yeah, that was pretty sloppy. I wanted to get the Llanowar Elves in play, but I'm not even sure why I really want to get the Llanowar Elves in play. We're going to have Vicious Offering, but we missed out on 10 life there, which is not insignificant. Yeah, I do want to keep black up, so I guess let's be careful with how we tap here. That double red. Okay, there we go. And get back Vicious Offering. And now we have a fairly commanding board presence and just a removal spell in hand. My opponent doesn't play anything when we go for lethal. We could kill that again with Worm. I think we're just going to keep beating with the Worm here. Not quite as crazy a cool start as it was last game, but although actually playing Grand Warlord's pretty good. So we could play the Warlord, kill off Baird, swing with all of these guys. My opponent is very much incentivized to chump block there and still takes 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 damage. If my opponent's got something in hand, I guess it's a little bit bad, but not even that bad. Yeah, I think that's okay. We're gonna make a bunch of mana that we're not gonna use it, but that's okay. Black, blue, and kick this. Off Baird, shooting our Llanowar Elf. For only having one Vicious Offering in the deck, we've cast this card like 6 times. Okay. And we'll just attack with everything. Sure. Add some mana. And my opponent can't block the V2 Chronicler, so wherever it's going, it's a chump block. There, it's 6. And I think that'll probably do it. Any one blocker is not quite enough here. Alright, that is enough. Well, the first game was definitely longer than the second game. Managed to work through our mana issues pretty quickly, so that felt good. Hello and welcome back for match 2. Ooh, this hand has massive potential. This hand really needs lands. If we get up to 4, we can play Rada, and probably then drop like Primordial Worm, or maybe even kick to Barracks. I think we're going to keep... This hand has, like I said, massive upside, but a little bit speculative as well. Yeah. Chronicler is awfully nice. It's just a 1/3 if we need it to be, but let's hit those land drops, shall we? I also remembered to sideboard and change that I probably wanted to be playing another forest over on their mountain. I remember that right as soon as I found a match, so didn't quite get there. Script Prospector is not a card I'm really used to seeing or really used to being excited about. Definitely play a Chronicler to try and block here. I think the only reason you play Prospector is if you really are quite aggressive and you think a 1/1 for 1 is just where you want to be. But if that's the case, even if we don't find lands, hopefully we've got a pretty good draw against it. I mean, if I had like 4 Runamucks or something, maybe I'd play these guys, just the intention to really get there. Or maybe they're just, like, really goblins. If they've got, like, goblin war chiefs and the goblin curve, that'd be pretty sweet. I haven't seen that in the format. Come on, give us a land now. Land off the top. I know you want to, deck. I have absolute faith. Absolute faith. Come on. Do it for me. No! Well, that's actually pretty good. That probably finds us a land. Sure. I would like to find double red eventually for Barracks, although I guess we need... Well, I guess we don't, actually. Grand Warlord Rada will help out with that. I think we're just playing Chroniclers here, honestly. Like, my opponent looks to be in some sort of crazy aggressive deck, and we've got so much, like, top-end beef that... Yeah, let's try not to die. Yeah, mono... I'm betting, like, mono red, like Flame of Keld, maybe Goblin War Chiefs. I think if you're gonna try and do goblins, you do goblins. I'm not sure it's even great then, but got that option. Okay. That's a lot of them. My opponent can make an additional 4 mana right now, at the low price of all of their stuff. This turn I think we're gonna play Rada and just pass. I don't particularly want to trade this away for just like 1 Bloodstone Goblin. It's possible, depending on how things are looking, that I would play it, or I would swing next turn with all 3 just to kick Varix, even if it's not a particularly good attack. It's probably just giving up way too much value. War Chief makes everything cost 1 less, and gives them all haste, but doesn't actually make them bigger, I don't think. No +1/+1 for the Lord. Okay, opponent coming in. Definitely kudos to the deck in general for for giving us land drops, because this could have been a lot worse. What could they have? Have anything for kicker? Don't think I want to trade away Rada. I think it's very likely my opponent has like a run amok or something here. I think we're just going to block like that and take 4, and then next turn try and make a decisive swing back with Rada and the remaining Chronicler. Red doesn't have any group pump spells that I can think of. Okay. Oh, okay, they're just kicking a bunch to kill off Sheevan Fire. Okay, and getting in for some damage. Fair enough. So that hits us for 6. That's actually fairly considerable. Yeah, maybe I should have contemplated that. Okay, Ariel's not particularly good. We actually can't play anything here now, so just gonna pass. Sheevan Fire did come to mind. I'm not used to playing with Skirk Prospectors, though, I guess. It was like, what could they really have? Sheevan Fire was out of range, but not really, as it turned out. That was still fairly expensive. I mean, it was a 3-for-1 for my opponent. Another land's not bad. Getting ever closer, just dropping Primordial Worm. 1 more red source, I think we'd play Barracks for sure as well. Obviously, blue would be great for Tatyova. Just like Grow from the Ashes in general would be pretty solid. Okay, gave everyone first strike and drew a card. This could be a potentially fairly scary attack. I also don't really think we can play around it though either. Go ahead and block with each. This might just be nothing, in which case my opponent's just sneaking in 3 points of damage. Yeah, okay. Doesn't look too bad for us. Unless they have like First Eruption or something random. No, Kill and Warcaller. Ugh, Llanowar Elf, why aren't you a land? The red deck is like a dangerous deck, right? We're playing some pretty greedy mana base, we're trying to go pretty late in the game, like... Do we have to block with the Llanowar Elves? Take 1 more, although actually maybe we just preserve our life total and don't try and go for the value. We go down to 6 if we do this. Next turn we play a Primordial Worm. Find a land, I'd much rather chump block, I think. There's no guarantee we're going to find a land, so... Oh, I should have blocked the Keldon Warcaller. Yeah, because if they have a kicker spell, that could be even worse for us. Can't think of anything for just 4 red, but you never know. Sheevan Fire and like Gift of Growth are the only things I can think of, and Sheevan Fire costs 1 more. Gift of Growth is too much extra. Okay, they've just got Run Amok. Opponent had a pretty solid start here. Managed to kill off our Rada, and we're taking a lot here. Oh, another run amok. Okay, I think we're just dead then. Couldn't they have gone for... They had lethal, I guess. Unless we had a play. Okay. Don't think it's gonna matter. Yeah. Okay, okay. Good game, good game. Got a little bit stuck on lands, but also my opponent just had a pretty good draw and we got run over. 4 Chroniclers is good, though. We can definitely pull down another couple of cards to help shore up our defenses. Llanowar Scout will come in. I guess Radiating Lightning is okay against the Prospector. I'm not sure we're going to bring that in for that, though. We could try and shift a little bit and try and play like Danitha. That's probably just too greedy, though, isn't it? Maybe we cut one of our top end. Maybe like Ariel is just a little bit too much. Yeah, that can leave us with some kind of dead draws. I think I want the Swamp, because Swamp is just quite good. But Ariel, despite being very, very good, potentially is a little bit slow. So I guess we're probably not worrying about any of the white there. Could bring in Prospectors of our own, but that doesn't feel real good. Yeah, okay. I think we'll just run this. We need to add in 1 land, right? So we can add up 1 more forest, which is good too. Okay, okay. We've got Tatyova, which can give us some late game advantage. Vicious Offering is obviously quite good. We've got a fair number of chief cards. Is there anybody else we can side in? I don't think so. Okay, and hopefully we can stall long enough to get our game plan online. Mono red is definitely the boogeyman. I kind of like that it's viable in this format, though. I don't think it's like particularly good. I don't think it's a top tier deck, but you can definitely have good draws. Again, I have to mulligan this one, unfortunately. 1 land, even with the Gitu Chronicler in hand, just don't think is what we're gonna get done. This hand is okay. Oh, should have cut Pierce this guy. What was I thinking? I completely missed it. That's very, very unlikely to have a target. That's unfortunate. An extra free mulligan. This hand's good even as a 5-card hand, though, I think. It's good and keep. Oh, yeah. Pierce this guy. Abysmal. We want Fiery Intervention. I think we actually are going to bottom that despite it being a fairly good card, because I want some cheaper, more efficient cards. Like, sure, we'll be able to play that, but I think we would really like to find some, like, Gitu Chroniclers or that sort of a thing. Pierce this guy. Ugh. Oh, how bad. My opponent starting off with the Skirk Prospector right off the bat. I have to imagine their curve looks super, super front-loaded, so they're going to have a 1-drop and a 2-drop a lot of the time. Yep, killed in Warcaller, and they are on the hunt. Llanowar Elves would have been great. Really want to find black with Grow from the Ashes, unfortunately. Otherwise, we could play it and go and get a Swamp. We could just play the Llanowar Elves and say, hey, we probably aren't going to need a Swamp for the immediate future, I guess, and try and trade off for like the Skirk Prospector. Should have played the Forest, I guess, on the off chance we're going to use Pierce the Sky, although that's not real likely. Grow from the Ashes is definitely pretty solid, but given what we have in hand, Radas are kind of our big thing, so go ahead and block. And we can play Rada with what we have in our hand already land-wise. Okay, run amok, fine. Short sword. Okay. Well, we're going to play the Warlord here and hope that she can stem the bleeding a little bit for us. Okay, Journey Mage right now is just a 3-2, which is nice. And no attack. I like no attack. Let's play Grow from the Ashes kicked. Man, this Pierce this guy. So embarrassing. There's so many other cards that would just be so much better to have, but oh well. Not gonna attack. So my opponent can equip up the Journey Mage and get in. I think realistically we just... Oh, ouch. Do we just have to take it? We take 4, but we get to mitigate a lot of other attacks. I don't think we can block here, unfortunately. Yeah, I think we're going to get pretty well run over. Get a lot of lands. No attacks. And I guess at this point, we need to block, because otherwise my opponent just got lethal next turn. Okay, opponent just getting in with everything. Doesn't seem terrible. Can take us down to, I guess, down to 1 this way. They have literally anything, the game's over. And even if they don't literally have anything, yeah, they've got 5 attackers. Alright, well, a couple of pretty good draws in a row, but my opponent does manage to take us down. Yeah, that appears this guy's gonna haunt me. That's gonna haunt me. Well, 1-1. We won the dirtily matchup and lost the aggressive matchup, which is probably how the deck's gonna feel. Well, I guess. On to match 3. Alright, we are back for match 3. Have a pretty serviceable hand here. I did remember to change out my lands this time, so I have, I guess, 9 and 5 in favor of forests. Yeah, let's go ahead and keep this. This hand could flood. I mean, we have basically 5 mana sources, and then 2 like reasonable but not absurd spells. There's a world where this hand goes terribly wrong. But if we find like one of our good like top end threats, I think we get there pretty quickly. Even something like a Haular or just a Rampaging Cyclops really wouldn't be bad at all. Okay, opponent starting off with a island. Okay, Ariel's good eventually. We do need to find a Grow from the Ashes probably to get there. Do we just want to play Krosan Druid? Or do we want to sandbag? I think this deck is going to want to play things unkicked most of the time. And I guess we'll plan on probably swinging in next turn off the Druid. Okay, opponent opting. If my opponent is blue-red specifically, which I think is the best place for opt, we're very happy we played the Druid there. If they're one of the other varieties of blue that's more likely to be slow or more flyers-based, it matters a little bit less. Okay, Swamp's actually not bad. Gets us a little bit closer to playing Ariel, although we still would have to probably find Grow from the Ashes to get there. Gonna swing with both of these. The only thing I can think of that my opponent would have is Merfolk Trickster, which admittedly would get us pretty badly, I guess. But it's an uncommon. I don't know, maybe I should swing or play around that. If they had it, they probably would play before combat, though, to tap down the Druid. Yeah, okay. I convinced myself. They have white now, could have, like, Reproach. I think we're just gonna swing with the Krosan Druid this time around. Pass. So we have Fire Intervention for something. We got kind of a lot of lands outside of that. Okay, Tatyoba. Again, if we find blue, is quite good. Do we need to keep Llanowar Elves around at this point? Less important. Blue-white. Very possibly have Ramification here. Do we want to sacrifice Krosan Druid? I don't think so. I think we're just going to pass. Opponent would have played it if they had it there, so we probably missed out on some damage. Not really sure what they've got going on over there, though. They played 5 lands with an opt, too, so they kind of fixed their early draws, and they still just haven't played anything. Can we Journey Mage for a bounce? Sure, that's fine. Chronicler with no value at this point. I think we'll just replay the Elves and pass? Yeah, I mean, this is a little bit of the disadvantage of a 5-color deck, right? We haven't found the fixing yet, and we've got our 2 splash cards in hand that we really can't play. I don't know what my opponent's up to. Although they might be thinking the same thing about us. And another Journey Mage. Bouncing the Krosan Druid and getting in? No, just bouncing the Elf. Fair enough. Okay, Arcane Flight. So we're going to shoot that with Fire Intervention. Okay. So, looks like a blue-white, yeah, probably still Flyers deck. Probably playing like Snapjaws and, what's the word, On Sarah's Wings. We will have to play carefully around that. Uh-oh. We do the thing. We did the thing. Okay, I'm going to be right back. I think if I disconnect and come back quickly, we can actually fix this game. Okay. Hopefully we were fast enough to get back in without skipping our turn. It did take me a minute to load. It's interesting, but things for both in bronze now. My opponent may have had another turn. Okay, doesn't look like it quite, which is good. Let's play our Fiery Intervention first. Oh, we also have a Primordial Worm, which is nice, but I think I just want to get this out of the way, right? Not sure we're going to get a much better target for Fiery Intervention. And it does need to die. Okay, so we got back just in time here. Woo-hoo. For those of you who don't know, I didn't actually explain the bug because I was trying to get in and out as quickly as possible. But once in a while, like... Oh, rescue. Okay. And that's not, like, great for us, but it's not terrible either. Once in a while you'll try and make an attack, and it'll bug, like, you're partway between the attack, and then you just can't play anything the next turn. So that's what I saw happen there. My opponent attacked, but it didn't actually do the full animation. We didn't take any damage. Okay. Gonna bounce the Croson Druid this time, finally? Get in for some damage? Or you can keep on the Elf train? Okay, finally bouncing the Croson Druid. It's a little bit interesting because if we find a land, then we just get to gain a bunch of life. My opponent does seem to be trying to play like a tempo gain. So the life gain is not irrelevant. Okay. Found a mountain there. Yeah, I think I'm just kind of in the mode to play that. I mean, we could play Primordial Worm and maybe start swinging back the other direction. I guess it leaves us up 2, so we could play for Syncopate. That might actually be a reason why my opponent was okay laying the Croson Druid through that time. Okay, let's play the Worm then, with that in mind. Okay. My opponent passed pretty quickly there, so they may not have had anything anyway, but... Okay. Opponent has hit a lot of land drops. I'm not sure they've missed one yet. But we do have the Croson Druid going to be kicked at some point, so... Ooh. Okay. Teferi is a problem. So they can just get rid of Primordial Worm. They may actually have to. In which case they couldn't swim with both of these guys. Man, I really wish we'd played the Gitu Chronicler then. I was thinking that I want to get the value off the Fiery Intervention, but that'd been pretty nice. Okay, so this goes third from the bottom, so we have 2 draws and then the Worm. And Curator's Ward on Teferi. Okay. Interesting. The opponent's going to get to draw 2 eventually. And has Hexproof. Huh, okay. Ooh, yeah, Teferi's a problem. One did not attack, which I think I like. So let's see, what can we do now? We can play Tatyova. We've got 8 mana available. So we could play Chronicler. Wait, we have more than that? We have 9 mana available, right? We have 9 mana available, so we could play Chronicler plus Croson Druid, just to try and get the most oomph on the battlefield, and plan on Fiery Interventioning away a Journey Mage next turn and having 3 attackers, potentially. If we kill Teferi that way, then we maybe have Tatyova in the future. We don't get to gain the life, but I think that actually doesn't feel terrible. If they find a card that can interact on the board, I guess it's maybe not the best. I think that's our best line, though. Does not feel particularly good, but I think it's our best line. Play the Chronicler, get back Fiery Intervention, play Croson Druid. We do want to get rid of Teferi as soon as we possibly can. My opponent's playing things like Curator's Ward and Rescue, though, which I'm not a huge fan of a lot of the time. Come on, no play.
Let's skip to the good part.
No play? They drew 2 cards. They had 1 hand already. They don't need much. And we're drawing 1 more thing and then Primordial Worm. If we find a land, we can play Tatyova and Fiery Intervention, which is pretty good, and draw a card. All of which is powerful. Okay, Divinate. Yeah, odds are they found some creature at this point, and they have enough mana to play it. So I don't know if the game plan of killing Teferi next turn is going to work for us. If they don't play something, we'll still try for it, but I don't think it's particularly likely. It seems very likely to me that they have something over there. You can still play Fiery Intervention, swing at the Croson Druid at the very least. My opponent, it's unlikely to get like truly free attacks there. We could also just play Tatyova. I think I like playing the Intervention, then having the option to keep recycling it off our Chronicler, though. I wish we'd drawn a land for Tatyova, but it is what it is. This might just also be like a counterspell. No. Do we go for it? We would lose Chronicler. Almost certainly. Get something bounced. I think the upside is so high. It seems so likely my opponent has something, though. They have Ratification. It's bad for us just in general. They have a bounce spell. They get to snipe 1. We take Teferi down 1 point. No, I think we're just going to get in with the Krosan Druid. Alright. This doesn't play around Ratification. Does play around, like, blink of an eye and that sort of a thing, though. I think we're going to play the Chronicler. We have 6 mana. We couldn't play both in the same turn. I guess... Oh, we were out of timeouts. That's right. I was thinking that we probably had some, but we played a long enough game that we didn't. We should have played the Chronicler, I think. I don't know. That was a close turn. You guys have to let me know what you think you would have done. It seems so very likely they had some play, but they didn't use their mana for anything, so I don't know. They would have had to have bricked pretty badly, I think, though. Oh, interesting. Alright. So... Slinvota's online.
No time for a break.
This might be tough. I guess it didn't matter whether we played the Chronicler or not, but... There's Primordial Worm. So we've got a total of 9 mana available. We could play Tatyova into Chroniclers. We could play Primordial Worm, Chronicler 1, and Llanowar Elves. That probably feels best. That way my opponent probably can't attack in at least next turn. Although I guess if we do this... Oh, I guess we only have 8 mana anyway. We couldn't play Llanowar Elves. Tatyova, they probably can't attack us. Slinvota's going to be tough to get through. I think we need to get the Primordial Worm into play, I guess. Yeah. I feel like we have been just a little bit too far behind kind of this entire game. We had a pretty slow start, and then maybe we should have played a little bit more aggressively through the tempo, rather than more value-oriented with all the Journey Mages running around. And maybe we should have swung at Teferi with all 3. Maybe we just couldn't win a game where Teferi stayed alive there. That's definitely like a possible outcome. That we can't realistically win if Teferi stays in play. Okay, blink of an eye to get rid of the Primordial Worm. Opponent will probably swing for 8. Yeah, I think we got pretty handled this game, unfortunately. Teferi did some good work. Oh, and Shalai. Okay. It's actually just a 3-4, it looks like, in my opponent's deck, but 3-4 is still pretty good. I guess we block. Try and stay alive as long as possible. If we take it, their Shalai kills us in 2 turns. I don't realistically see us coming back here, but... I guess let's play Tatyova and try and draw stuff, right? That's our best line. Don't like using up the swamp. Let's do something like that. Play Tatyova. Play a mountain. I guess... Yeah. We can now play a Chronicler and a Llanowar Elves. I guess we're gonna do that. And try and just get as much stuff onto the battlefield as possible here. Plan on chump blocking Slinvota again. Opponent gets to draw another card or bounce something. If I played that Chronicler earlier and been able to pressure Teferi, this game would have been completely different. I mean, it's hard to know that your opponent's going to play Teferi, too, but I think I just misread my opponent, and I tried to play a little bit too much for value, and should have just been playing creatures into play earlier. My opponent's deck looks sweet, though. I mean, any deck that's playing Slinvota, Shalai, and Teferi, you're doing something right. Alright, opponent mills us. It's Ancient Animus and a couple of lands, including the Ariel land, of course. Of course. Darn it. We probably were going to grow from the Ashes next turn, too. So Ariel's a dead draw. Or a dead card.
Hurry!
I mean, we're still seeing a little bit more of my opponent's deck. Yeah. keeping Slinvoda back for posterity. We don't have a great way to answer that card. Pierce the Sky on Shalai is not bad. Okay, so right now we have 10, count them 10. So we can play Grow from the Ashes for 5, or I guess for 3 of that, that's 7. We play Pierce the Sky, draw some cards. I think drawing cards is just going to be good here, straight up. Let's tap down a bunch of mountains. We're going to grab some more mountains. Oh, I guess actually, no reason to tap all those since we've already found our blue, so that has no value. Let's kick this, draw a couple of cards off Tatyova. We only have Forest left. I guess that's right. Okay. Draw. Play Pierce the Sky for 2 green. Kill off Shalai. Swing with Tatyova at Teferi and trade it for Slinvoda. Can that possibly be correct? I don't think that can possibly be correct. We bring back... Ooh, maybe we actually take the Chronicler, get back the, Ancient Animus, kill off the Homered Explorer. Yeah, I actually kind of like that. Let's kick this. We're almost out of time. Grab back Ancient Animus with the intention of using Tatyova to kill that, and then Vicious Offering kicked and get it through Slinvoda next turn. Okay. I think we gave ourselves our best chance off that turn. It's going to be a miracle if we manage to drag ourselves back into this game. And if we do manage to drag ourselves back in, I'll be saying I should have played Tatyova earlier. Because, man, she's pretty good. It's funny, like, Teferi is better, but Tatyova is remarkably similar in power level. One is up to 13 lands, and Magic Arena is not sure how it wants to distribute those. I guess if we Ancient Animus, we have to wait another turn to get past Slinvoda. So yeah, I guess maybe that was a bad line. Maybe we just have to answer Teferi earlier. Okay, Deep Freeze makes that irrelevant. Guess there's no reason not to kill this. We don't have any way to get rid of artifacts or enchantments in our deck, I don't think. Ferrix would still be a pretty good draw, I suppose. Blood Tallow Candle plus Vicious Offering can kill Slinvoda. I think we play Primordial Worm in the Candle with Vicious Offering up now at this point. Opponent probably will just bounce the Primordial Worm, but I'm not sure we have much of an option anyway. We do want to keep up black though, so play our Worm. Play a Candle. We could Ancient Animus away the Explorer right now and swing. Actually, that's probably not bad. Yeah, I think that's actually okay. Use a Primordial Worm on the Explorer. Swing with all of our 1/3s. Try and knock my opponent down just a little bit on that. We each have 11 cards left in the deck. Relic Runner, I imagine, yeah, is going to trade, which is okay with me. I think we need to keep Vicious Offering to help us deal with Slinvoda in the future. Teferi might just bounce it. If Teferi bounces it, we could still make an attack. Utilizing Blood Tallow Candle and Vicious Offering to maybe remove whatever blockers my opponent plays. Yeah, we're not out of this. I think we are behind, but not, like, atrociously so. Okay, opponent drawing a card of Teferi.
You know what? I'm not done yet.
Okay, Arcane Flight. Interesting. So Primeuse, my opponent's going to probably try and attack. We can kill it, though. Like, this is kind of a risky line. It does hit us down to 5. Like, they have like a counter spell or something, we probably lose. Wait, this may give us an out to kill off Teferi. Okay, interesting. Ooh, Grand Warlord's pretty good. We've got 12 mana. This requires 6, that requires 2, that requires 4. We're going to get some more mana, though, after we play it. Don't want to use the black. I don't know why it always wants to use black. Just like its favorite color. Okay, those are all going to swing it to Teferi. Try and kill it dead. We have 12 damage right now. It's actually not enough to kill my opponent. Are they likely to have, like, anything hasty? I don't think so. Let's go to combat. I think we're just going to swing with everything at Teferi. We really want to get it off the battlefield. And now if they have a 1 answer for, like, the Primordial Worm, it's just not going to be enough, which is nice. They only have 2 cards in hand. Again, if they have, like, a counterspell, we just lose, but we definitely can get here this time. I didn't think we were going to have a shot. A blink of an eye is a pretty good answer. Bouncing what? This doesn't matter. Can't do anything about it, right? I actually can't see what it's targeting, though. Oh, bouncing to Teferi. Oh, interesting. Okay. Oh, man. It leaves the battlefield for Curators? Oh, man, we just got wrecked. That blink of an eye was pretty sweet. Alright. So we're gonna do all of this shenanigans in response then, right? So let's Vicious Offering, because I don't want to let my opponent draw other potential outs. Target Slinvoda, sacrifice the Chronicler. Okay, that works. Utilize Blood Tallow Candle. Target Slinvoda, that works. Okay, opponent draws some cards. We gain 4 mana, which we can't do anything with. We end the turn. So we're at 5. We have the board presence, though. They've only got 5 cards left in the deck. Okay, they've got a couple of Arcane Flights and just a bunch of creatures, including Slinvoda. Okay, probably only have 2 more lands total. Mace Unicorn's good. What are we still drawing into? Varix is obviously like our super exciting best draw. We have Howler still in the deck. Gift of Growth. Okay. Making a reasonably sized wall for Teferi here. And milling us. Oh no, Varix bites the dust. Unfortunate. Alright. Okay, there's Teferi.
If you show remorse, I'll show restraint.
You don't seem like a very restrained sort of fellow.
Not so fast.
Primordial Worm bites the dust, and a land. So we can attack with both. They block and block. I think we're at least swing with Rada. Leave 1 back. That's a chump block, potentially. I don't know if we actually can afford to. Alright. Man, we almost worked our way back into this game. It feels like it's been our entire deck against Teferi. We still have, like, not impossible chance of milling our opponent. Although I guess they can always just put Teferi on the bottom, can't they? Oh, okay. And Journey Mage, I think, seals the deal here. We chump block. Go down to 1. Alright. I think you got me. Yeah, I think there were plays early on in this game that maybe could have won it for us. I think this was definitely a winnable game. Could not handle the power of Teferi. Okay, well, I mean, that was only match 1. It was a long match 1. We still got a shot here. Arbor Armament, not absurd. Those are absurd. Invoke the Divine actually doesn't seem terrible as a splash. And I think it's likely to be a slower game. We'll probably have the opportunity to utilize it. Gift of Growth is pretty bad in the face of something like Blink of an Eye, which my opponent has multiple of. Probably cut that and just enjoy a slightly sketchier mana base. And yeah, we'll play to our oop. Must be at least 60 cards. What the heck? Decks can't have more than 15. Okay, for somehow it's thinking I am a constructed deck. I don't know what to do about that. And, you know, I feel like I did not have any problems with Arena for the longest time, and it feels like it's been definitely a little bit bug heavier lately. I guess I'm just gonna let the time run down. It probably will just pair me into a match at that point, I think. Okay, well, I guess hope to see you guys in a sec. Okay, well, our time ran up. I'm not sure if it actually sideboarded us or not, but it does look like it's gonna let us play, so that's good. And I guess if we see Gift of Growth, we'll know. Okay, this hand is very good. Yeah, super happy to have it. Let's go ahead and keep. Probably going to try and go Chronicler into Envoy into Radha and just curve out as aggressively as we can. And then Grow from the Ashes eventually after that. And then Grow from the Ashes, having this in play early, getting all of our lands out of the deck's nice, because my opponent does have a couple of milling cards. And they have been milling us, which has disrupted our game plan a little bit. Never having access to Ariel last game was definitely sad. Opt in response. Alright. See what my opponent's got over there. They were playing, I think they just had a really slow draw last game, because they did have a considerable amount of like 2 drops and 3 drops just in the deck that we saw. Yeah, things like Relic Runner, etc. Okay, Holler is a pretty good draw. I'm just gonna dump that here. There is a chance we miss our land drop next turn, which is unfortunate, but I think that is a risk I'm willing to take to get a more powerful card down early. And if we don't miss a land drop, then we get to use Grand Warlord and play the Llanowar Envoy next turn. Sending a land here would be pretty absurd. Okay, opponent just deep freezing Holler. Fair enough. Okay. We did miss on lands. Unfortunate. I think we're still going to play the Llanowar Envoy and try and get maximum value from the Grow from the Ashes. Maybe that's a mistake. Okay, let's swing with our Chronicler. Pass. Yeah, maybe we should grow. Don't play Homeward Explorer and mill, like, exactly our island and exactly our plains or something. Okay, well, at this point, I think we gotta take it. I guess let's go to combat first. Blink of an Eye's possibility. My opponent's missing on whites. They can't have, like, Rafcapation here. See, my opponent wants to trade the Relic Runner for the Envoy. Probably does. Maybe that's a bad attack. Oh, no, blinking it. Okay. Not even blocking and seeing first. It's kind of interesting. Said we still just play Llanowar Envoy then? How greedy are we? We're super greedy. Come on, we're gonna find a land, right? Every time we miss on a land, that means we're gonna find a land. My opponent's not gonna find plains. They haven't yet. Come on, I know you want to give me, like, exactly plains off the top. Can't be Journey Mage. Bouncing the Envoy, I imagine. Yeah, fair enough. Plains off the top. Gosh darn it. Oh, man. Do we finally do it at this point? If we ever get Grand Warlord into play, it's so nice, because then we can just start dumping our hand. It's so much better tempo if we get to play it naturally. Ugh. I think it's still correct to play the Envoy. I don't know. It looks silly because it's been in and out of this game so much, but I think it's still correct. On the other hand, my opponent is still stuck on plains. They are, like, definitely heavier on blue than they are on white. I wonder if they're playing something like Tempest Djinn even. But this is still a little bit ridiculous. Okay. Power your Sphinx. So if we find a land for Radha, we can pierce the sky on that, which is nice. Offering a trade, I think I will definitely take that trade if they want to give it to us. Do not. Ugh. Fine. We Adventurer's Impulse first to try and find a land. I guess then Llanowar Envoy can always use green to make another green. Or do we just pierce the sky at this point? We could Grow from the Ashes and Adventurous Impulse. Probably find 2 lands. Alright, fine. We'll take 3 from the Clouders. Thanks for a turn. I think that's okay. Go and find our white. Oh no, we need a green for Adventurous Impulse. Oh my goodness, I'm not playing very well. That's okay. That's okay. Pass back. We can get Ariel into play now for what that's worth. Yeah. That's okay. That's okay. Getting white isn't a disaster there, although I think it would have been better to get green. Curator's Ward. Okay, well, that's now hard for us to answer. We do maybe have Invoke the Divine in the deck. And obviously we have, like, Barracks and stuff. We have things we can find. Not getting to Pierce the Sky there in response would have been really nice, though. Yeah, alright. Opponent basically playing mono blue here. Let's play our Warlord. If we swing with everything, we get another 3 mana out of the deal. We get another 3 mana out of the deal. What do we get to do with that? Grow from the Ashes for a little Grow from the Ashes plus Adventurous Impulse. We could just make like 1 mana and leave like Lanor Envoy back. Yeah, I mean, swing with the Chronicler is not particularly good. I think we're just going to play Rada, swing with Rada, and then plan on playing Adventurous Impulse. Rada will make red, I guess. I don't think we're going to use it one way or the other. Yeah, we still have good stuff out of the deck. I mean, Varric's Bladewing can still get in here. Cat Yoba would definitely not be bad. Those are kind of our main answers now that Curator Ward is in play, though. See if my opponent has any inclination in blocking here. Yeah, we missed for a while. Maybe we should have just taken the bullet earlier with the Grow from the Ashes. If we'd hit a land drop, though, it feels so much better. Okay, opponent just takes it. We'll use our Adventurous Impulse. And I guess find a mountain then, right? Fair enough. And we'll play it. Oh, or no, we already played a land, that's right. Okay. Pass back to my opponent. If they have any historic spell, they get to hit us for a fair amount, otherwise we're still a little bit defensive. Obviously something like Teferi would be the disaster here. Yeah. Alright, sometimes your opponent's got it.
Right on schedule.
Yeah. Right on schedule. They still have to worry about protecting it a little bit. But honestly, I think we're pretty far behind now. It's a shame, because I think this deck is super sweet, but probably could have won last game if we played a little bit better, and that maybe would have given us a shot into the match. We're not over this game either, but it is looking bad for us. Alright, opponent just going for it here. It's kind of interesting. They have another follow-up? Another, like, Relic Runner or something? Or Blink of an Eye?
Hurry.
I guess maybe Blink of an Eye is the card they've got in hand then. Oh, well. Yeah. Blink of an Eye. Blink of an Eye seems really, really likely. Okay, so we've got potentially as much as 8 mana, so we could play Grow from the Ashes. Right, this can attack. We actually could have as much as 9 mana, I guess. 9 mana, we could Grow from the Ashes plus Primordial Worm. I think we're just going to swing with everything. I think it's likely something gets bounced. My opponent lets us go to combat. They might bounce the Rada. Although it looks like they still have priority there, somehow. Alright, well, we'll swing with everything. And we can take a fair amount of damage next turn. Maybe we want to leave the Chronicler back. We're not real likely to kill Teferi anyway. Although then we don't have the mana for Grow from the Ashes and Primordial Worm. Is Grow from the Ashes really that important? No, I think we need to leave the Chronicler back. So I'll add 2. Okay, opponent rescuing Teferi. Okay. It's not as bad as it could be. It's not, like, fantastic for us, but it's not as bad as it could be either. And I guess we're just going to play Primordial Worm. And I guess we want to leave up, like... I guess it doesn't really matter, but leave up Pierce the Sky. Okay. And, you know, then if they try and get another thing into the air or something, we can maybe get there. Still really need to find, like, Varric's off the top, I think, is our best answer. As this Cloud Reader Sphinx will get us dead in not too many turns. My opponent gets to replay Teferi, they can swing for as much as 7, and then they're just dead the following turn. I guess that puts them a little bit in risk if they don't have anything else in hand to removal, because we could remove the Academy Journey Mage. Okay, replaying Teferi. No, that's not true, because they can replay Teferi, they can just, like, bounce the worm.
This down.
Yeah, you can just bounce the worm. Still swing for 7. Having pierced the sky in response to that Cloud Reader Sphinx would have been so good before, but yeah, now I think they just swing with everything and say, hey, it's very unlikely you can kill us, and then they've got lethal the following turn, unless we find exactly Varix. Alright, down to 3, and that is game, right? Yeah, Truer Tragedies, man, I felt like this deck was just great, but wasn't able quite to get there. Didn't quite draw as well as we needed to a couple of times. Probably didn't play quite as well as we needed to as well. But yeah, 1-2 finish with this deck. That feels not good. Well, on the other hand, like, I do think all 3 matches were interesting, so hopefully it's fun to watch, but oof. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, that hurts deep down just a little bit. Let's look at the deck, though. The deck was sweet. Yeah, I mean, I think the Grow from the Ashes, picking those up early in the draft, really did kind of allow us to play sort of a crazy draft deck, but I think a pretty solid one. Ariel and Tatyova both definitely merited their inclusions in one game. Varix Bladewing was great when we played it, so we really, like, the star power was here for the deck, and that's really, I think, what you try and do with Grow from the Ashes. We're probably a little light on removal, but not too bad. We had Vicious Offering, Fiery Intervention, we're playing Ancient Animus and Blood Tile Candle. And, like, that's an okay, if not, like, premier removal suite on its own, but having the 4 Gitu Chroniclers to potentially rebuy it back over and over was great. Like, I think we played more Vicious Offerings that have been rebought than we played ones that have been played from our hand. So, I do think the deck was pretty sweet overall. I think we are going to do a pretty big pack opening here. I've got some gold that's been burning a hole in my pocket. And I've actually been seeing some kind of sweet decks based on some Ixalan cards, so we might do some Ixalan packs. Alright, so I have purchased, real quick, 20 Rivals of Ixalan packs, and the real reason we're going deep on that is not only have we basically grayed out Dominaria at this point, someone just posted on Reddit the other day a really sweet Indomitable Elder deck, and I'll try and remember to put a link down in the comments so you guys can see it if you'd like, but I'd like to try and play this, and the kind of the all-stars for that are some of the Elder dinosaurs, so Zakama, Zapalta, and Itali. And we're going to see if we can't actually just open up a couple of those, I guess, in addition to just filling out the collection some. So let's open up 10. Come on, fingers crossed. Okay, well, no Elder Dinosaurs, unfortunately, but 2 rare and 1 mythic rare wildcards are all pretty sweet. Let's open up 10 more. Oh, oops. Oh, man, we didn't even get to see what they were. Oh, I screwed that up. No, wait, they were there. It just looked like Dominaria popped up. I don't know what happened. Ooh, is this is it. Our first completely gray pack, at least that I've seen. Okay. And a couple of cards out of this one. But we get our vault progress, and wow, we're up to 175% already. It's pretty quick. And we should have enough to put together that Indomitable Elder deck, if that's something you guys are interested in seeing. Thanks so much for watching. As always, I love to have you guys. It's a shame that was kind of a poopy draft to end Dominaria on. It was definitely in the spirit of the format, though. We got to play 5 colors, got to play some really cool cards, and had some close, very competitive games, so I can't complain too much. Yeah, I'll see you guys next time. And we've got Magic 17. So excited. See you then.